Hello, my most amazing art students. Today we're going to discuss this lovely piece by the artist Van Gogh. So Vincent van Gogh. This piece is very famous. It is called Starry, the Starry Night, and it is in the impressionistic style, which means that it gives an impression or a feeling of what was happening when the artist painted it. So I want to discuss with you some aspects of it. You know, Van Gogh painted this with oil paints, which can go on very thickly. So if you were to see this in real life, you would see thick, chunky bits of paint in all these areas loaded onto the canvas in these in this way that he would do, just add little strokes of paint. Okay, so what do we see going on in this painting? Well, it's nighttime, right? And there's this little village over here. There's this church with this very tall steeple right here, and these houses in the foreground, means in the front of the painting. In the middle ground, we have mountains back here. In the foreground, we also have this large cypress tree. And then in the background, we have this night sky. What do you guys think these things are in the night sky? What do they look like they might be? Yeah, we have the moon over here in this crescent shape. Obviously, the moon is only this shape when it's covered by part of the sun in the sky, or the earth blocks the light from the sun, I should say, onto the moon. So, and then star shapes. So, interestingly enough, talking about Impressionism, it was started by, the Impressionist movement was started by a few artists during Van Gogh's time, but Claude Monet was a painter, and he painted this painting of a sunset over the water with some ships on there, and he called it Sunrise Impression, or Impression of a Sunrise. And from that title that he gave that painting and sold at, like, on the street or at I think it was a small gathering of impressionistic artists that were selling their works, this type of painting was not well received during his time, because they were used to things being painted very realistically. And obviously, that's not what the sky looks like, right? It's not what a tree looks like with all these little brush strokes and all these little bits of paint going on. This impression or feeling of a moment in time, and that's why he called it Sunrise Impression, is because he said, I couldn't call it sunrise over the water because it didn't really look exactly like what I saw. It gave the feeling of the light playing across the water. So Van Gogh changed his style, or took on this impressionistic style, and what he's most famously, many of his paintings that he's famous for are in this impressionistic style, his sunflowers and many others of his paintings. So this painting makes it looks like it might be windy because of the way that Van Gogh has added these swirls into and around the stars and the moon at night, and that the wind might be blowing up the hillside, or this is the light of the sun setting. You know, there's a lot of movement with the way that Van Gogh has painted this. So these stars look like they might be giving off light, right? Like this light is emanating or coming out of these stars at night. They don't really look like the stars that we see at night, but we have the impression that is what's happening there. So this really dark black shape, this tree, has this kind of wiggly movement to it, indicating also that, you know, it might be windy because of the way that it's drawn. And you guys, I just thought I'd ask, like, kind of in closing about this painting. You know, I like how we have the little lights going on and the windows to indicate that it's nighttime with the moon and the stars in the sky, and that it might be living here in Edgewood, we know what a windy night is like, so we can relate to this painting. But do you think that Van Gogh could have called this painting The Peaceful Night instead of The Starry Night? Does it look like a peaceful night? Maybe if you were tucked up cozy inside your home, it might be peaceful, but it kind of seems like the wind might be battering at the house. So I'm not sure that Peaceful Night would be a good title for this, but Starry Night definitely works. Or it could even be like the windy night, right? So I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think in the comments about this artwork, and I'd be happy to hear what you think the title could be for this painting. Also, I want you to notice that Van Gogh used some warm colors with the yellow and the orange, but mostly he used cool colors with the blues and the purplish blues and the greens in this painting. So there's a lot of cool colors to give that nighttime feel to it. I'm going to post another video that an artist has done an interactive thing with this, where the swirls kind of come to life. It's really cool to watch. So I'll post that, and then next week you're gonna need crayons and a piece of paper, and we're gonna get started on drawing our Starry Night. Okay? Have a wonderful day. See you guys next week.